Hey, welcome back to Kentucky Neck Beer here. We're going to talk a little bit about this Kentucky South Carolina game. Uh, Coming into this game, Kentucky is a 10-point favorite. Well, was a 10-point favorite to start the week. Me personally, I don't think that's enough points. I took the 10 points uh, in Kentucky, obviously. Uh, I think South Carolina is terrible, 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 terrible. Uh, and I think we're just going to find this out Saturday. But the line's now down to on DraftKings. It's 9 points, and on ESPN it is 8 points. So I mean, people start putting money on South Carolina. I don't know why, except for the fact that South Carolina's won the last two meetings. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Kentucky still won five of the last seven or something like that. Um, but you know, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you why Kentucky's going to win this game. Number one, that offensive line is terrible. Uh, Sellers can't, he wears those red specs. Uh, that boy still can't hit his receivers. He still can't see him wide open. He looked like Lamar Jackson last night. The boy's wide open in his zone. He missed twice. I know Lamar was a two-time MVP, but I hate Lamar Jackson. I've never seen what any NFL seen in him. I don't know why he's even won an MVP. It's my personal opinion. I know it's a very anyway. It's not a popular one. I mean, last weekend, South Carolina did pull out the game against Old Dominion, won 23-19. But these boys were actually down with like 5 minutes left in the game, uh, maybe a little more. But I seriously was watching this game. Kentucky was in a lightning delay, um, and I ended up putting a little bit of money on Old Dominion to win the game. At the time, Old Dominion was up 19, I think the 16 or something like that, and had the ball. As soon as I put money on the game, Old Dominion fumbles the ball. South Carolina recovers it, and then what was it? 2 or 3 plays later, they scored. Um, you know, I ended up losing that bet. Uh, you know, but I didn't see nothing in that South Carolina game that impressed me at all. Except they have two standout defensive ends. One's a true freshman, Dylan Stewart, who had 4 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and two forced fumbles last weekend. They also got a Georgia Tech transfer, uh, Kyle Kennard, and even he had 4 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and one forced fumble. Other than that, that was like your standouts for South Carolina last weekend. Um, Old Dominion, I pretty much just pissed the bed. Um, I mean, the Sellers went for 22 carries for 68 yards. Um, Rocket Sanders, a transfer from Arkansas, had 24 carries, 88 yards, one touchdown. I'm just going to tell you, if either one of them try to carry the ball that many times against Kentucky, they're both going to be at Health Center right around the corner by halftime. That's not going to happen. They're stepping up against the big boys now. You ain't playing Old Dominion. You're playing at Kroger Field. Uh, that's just, it's not going to stand up. Uh, their defense gave up 305 yards last weekend to Old Dominion, 197 passing, 108 yards on the ground. Mark Stoops is going to have his way here, and that was with South Carolina at home. Uh, you know, over there in that chicken coop. Uh, I just nothing here screams that South Carolina has a chance against Kentucky. Kentucky played 35 minutes last weekend. Brock Vandergrift was 12 for 18, 169 yards, 3 touchdowns, and one interception. He really should have had 2 interceptions. He threw it right to a defender. The guy just didn't catch the ball. Uh, Demi Cormier, he had 8 carries for 59 yards. Then we had 3 wide receivers carry the ball for a total of 5 yards for 18 carries. Barry Brown had 3 of those carries for 14. Um, Macklin had like 1 carry for 3 yards. And Ferrier, well, I think Macklin had 1 for 1. And Ferrier had 1 for 3. Uh, DSK did score, Jimmy Sumu Carbier did score 1 rushing touchdown. Barry Brown had 4 receptions for 28 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of his touchdowns, though, some of his passing yards were uh, where he was in motion, and it was just a pretty much a tap pass to him. I think it was kind of just a shuffle. Captured the pass though in college, um, but our leading receiver last weekend was actually Macklin, who had 2 receptions for 66 yards. Dane Key was right there with him with 3 receptions for 60 yards. Our defense played 35 minutes last weekend. That's all Kentucky played, and won 31-0. We've played full, the full 60 minutes before, and they scored 31 points on anybody. So we did this pretty much in one half. We only gave up 126 yards passing and 5 yards rushing. Now I know what you're going to say. There was still, 24 minutes left in this game. When it got called for lightning, we both teams decided, agreed this game was final. I think it was like 11:30 at night, and um, I was impressed with Kentucky's defense. I'm gonna tell you straight up, just like I'll tell like Uncle Lou's told Tennessee fans all week. Yeah, we all look good against inferior opponents. Um, we got to go out there and look good against SEC teams, against better teams. Kentucky's got the whole SEC schedule in Louisville. That's our other Power Five. Other than that, we're playing. I think we got 2 more MAC schools. Well, actually, 1 MAC school and an SDS school, Murray State. We play the Ohio Bobcats also. Um, so Kentucky's going to find out really who they are in next week's game when we play Georgia at home. But I'm impressed. I was impressed with what I saw at Kentucky. I was not impressed out of the South Carolina team. This South Carolina team may not even beat Vanderbilt this year. I think South Carolina and Florida look like the 2 worst teams in the SEC last weekend. Um, and I don't. I really think fucking Shane Beamer is going to be on the hot seat this year. No offense, sorry Jackpot, sorry all you Gamecocks, but I don't think this game's going to be close. I'm even going to keep this video short, and I'm going to tell you I think Kentucky goes for damn near 400 yards on South Carolina this weekend. And from what I understand, the weather actually looks like it's going to be better this weekend. So we're going to play the whole 60 minutes. I think Kentucky wins this game somewhere between I will say 49-10. Kentucky pulls this win off 49-10. And this game's not even gonna be close. You could put money on it. Kentucky's going. I'm telling you, that's just how I see it. This South Carolina team is garbage. They might be worse than Southern Miss game team we played last weekend. Because they couldn't even do nothing at home. They should have lost at home last weekend. And that's just how I feel. Uh, like I said, Kentucky wins this game 49-10. I'm sorry. I'm also going to live stream the game tomorrow. And as I'm watching the game, hey, I'll watch it. We'll live stream right here. And we'll just see how that goes. Thanks for tuning in. You can give your score predictions down in the comments. Give me a like and subscribe if you ain't already subscribed. And also, one other thing. Go Cats. Peace.